So, folks, Eva Luna, Isabel Allende, Eva Luna. It was so after my last book, if you watched it, after American Pastoral, as soon as I finished that goddamn book, I started reading this one. Like, I had to get some magical realism. I had to get some beauty, what I consider beauty, into my head after reading that book. And I have to say that as beautiful as she writes, after reading Stories of Eva Luna, which blew my mind, like within the first page, I was like, there's so much beauty in this first page. Like, what's the rest of the book going to be like? Those are short stories. I'm realizing that I prefer short stories. I really enjoy my mindset. My attention can't really dig into long, deep, uh, I don't know, stories or novels. Um, you know, long chapters. None of that works for me. So I love Stories of Eva Luna. I did not know that the character was from a book called Eva Luna, right? So I should have read this one first, to tell you the truth. I should have read, but Stories of Eva Luna is so good, so good. It blows my mind. In fact, it's right above my shoulder. It's the first book you see. It's the one that I'm never throwing away. I don't know, giving away, because I want to read it again, especially now that I read this. But I want to like have that for reference for the rest of my life to read, uh, to to read to someone like in bed. Like, it's the book to read to someone in bed. It's just, anyways. Stories of Eva Luna. That's another video. There's this one, Eva Luna, and you get the story of how um, the woman Eva Luna becomes this great storyteller. And I have to say that at first I was kind of like, oh, this isn't as good as Stories of Eva Luna. Still good, still beautiful, but not. I was like, what's going on here? And because it wasn't broken up into smaller stories, it took me a while to catch on. And I'd say the last third of the book was some great Isabel Allende writing. I was like, yes, this is like, that's when I couldn't stop putting it down. I'm new to being a writer, so I don't even know the basics. I think they're supposed to be. I I hear these a lot. Antagonist, protagonist. I don't even know what those mean. Right? There's got to be a three chapter or three sections. What's the it's a word that slips my mind. There's got to be a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then there's got to be the climax, and there's got to be this, and I mean, that's great for churning out books, right? It's like a blueprint to write all these books, and then you can put them on Amazon and sell a shit ton of them. Whatever. I don't write like that. I don't, and I don't, and I can see that Isabel Allende doesn't necessarily write like that either. Um, there was no antagonist throughout the entire story. I don't think. Um, Basically, there was really no bad guy. Um, you could say that it was the government. The government was the antagonist, but I don't know. I think that because she doesn't follow the standard rules for writing, that because this was a not a series of short stories but one long story, one novel, I think that it made it a little bit difficult for me to follow. But it was as if 80% of the first 80% of the book, or three quarters of the, just over three quarters of the book was all character building. Like all of it was character building, and then this last part of the book, there's a little story. There's where you get your three parts with the good guy, the bad guy, the climax and the ending. That doesn't come. That doesn't come. Yeah, it's all about right here. It's all about right. So all of this is character building, and it's well written, and it's there's beautiful lines in here. It's so much to it has made me stop. Several times I've stopped to write myself because I was so inspired. Not to the point where I'm copying things, but where her writing inspires me, causes me to be more creative and to write more, to think of a story. I wrote a story on how to make cinnamon rolls based on reading this. Anyways, Eva Luna, it was a wonderful read. It made me happy to be reading, not like American Pastoral. I'm giving this 4 out of 5 tamales. It's good. There's all that I think in Latin American magical realism. I think it's all in here. Sex and love and romance and family and food and not too much, a little bit of dancing, not too much dancing. Anyways, that's it. I recommend this. Before you read Stories of Eva Luna, you have to read this one, Eva Luna. All right. That's it. If you want to read what I make, how these books inspire me, these magical realism books, you can read my book, Los Chocolates de Esperanza Diamante, and yes, it's in English. Don't ask me why I titled it in Spanish. Don't ask me why. It's a cool little story about a woman who chooses to be celibate, and because she is celibate, she's a very passionate woman, but she chooses to be celibate, and her passion gets built up and overflows into her chocolates that she makes. And when people eat her chocolates, her passion stirs up their passion, and I don't know, pleasure ensues. I'll have a link to buy it down below, or I'll put a link that you can read the first chapter for free right here. And then that's it. I'm already working on the second book. The characters in my book, some of them are underdeveloped, so I'm developing them in short stories and putting that into my next book. My readers list, I guess it's called readers list. My readers list get all the information, all the updates. If you want to join my readers list, follow this same link. Follow this same link right here, right there, and I will. And you can sign up for my readers list. I don't spam you. I just tell you. I just share with you things that I'm going through with my writing experience. Like the other day, I emailed everybody that story about how to make cinnamon rolls. I'll do stuff like that. I'll ask you for your help. I'll ask you for your advice. I'll ask you for your input on a book cover, and then I'll let you know when the new one comes out, and I might even let you read it first. All right? That's it. Thanks a lot. Eva Luna, 4 out of 5 tamales. Highly recommend.